Imagine waking up tomorrow in 2025. Picture this. You open your eyes, and instead of feeling rushed, stressed, or overwhelmed, you feel a sense of calm, of quiet contentment. You're not consumed by the desire to achieve more or the fear of missing out. You feel at peace with who you are, with where you are, and with what you've already accomplished. In fact, you find joy in the small everyday moments that once seemed insignificant. Now let's be real. For most of us, this kind of happiness seems like a distant dream. We're constantly chasing external goals, more money, more success, more followers, more possessions, believing that once we have enough, we'll finally feel fulfilled. But despite all this striving, true happiness often remains elusive. So what is the missing piece? What if I told you that happiness doesn't depend on accumulating more? It depends on how you choose to view and approach life. What if true happiness comes from within, from how you manage your thoughts, your emotions, and your reactions to the world around you? This is where Stoicism comes in. For over 2,000 years, Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus have been teaching a simple yet powerful philosophy. Happiness isn't something that happens to you, it's something you create from within. The Stoics understood that true happiness doesn't come from things outside of ourselves. It comes from how we handle life's challenges and how we choose to live our daily lives. In today's episode, we're going to explore 10 Stoic principles that can help you unlock true happiness in 2025. These principles are not magic fixes or quick hacks to instant pleasure. They are timeless teachings that can transform your mindset, your outlook, and your life. By applying these Stoic teachings, you can build a life filled with greater peace, resilience, and joy, regardless of what's happening around you. So, whether you're tired of chasing external validation or just looking for a deeper sense of fulfillment in the new year, stick with me. By the end of this episode, you'll have a fresh perspective on happiness and the tools to cultivate it in every area of your life. Let's dive in. Principle 1. Control what you can. One of the central tenets of Stoic philosophy is the distinction between what is within our control and what is not. This may sound simple, but it's a game changer when applied to everyday life. Think about it for a second. How often do you find yourself stressed or upset about things that are completely out of your control? Traffic, weather, the actions of other people, political events, the stock market. It can feel like everything around you is conspiring to ruin your day. And yet, none of these things are truly in your hands. What is in your control, however, is how you respond. In every situation, you can choose how to react, what thoughts to entertain, and which actions to take. And that, according to the Stoics, is where happiness begins. Epictetus, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, famously said, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not." It's a simple yet powerful concept that underpins much of Stoic thinking. If we focus on what we can control, our own thoughts, actions, and emotions, we begin to free ourselves from the stress of trying to control the uncontrollable. Imagine this scenario. You're running late for an important meeting, and suddenly you find yourself stuck in traffic. The frustration builds as you watch the clock ticking away. Now, in this moment, you can't change the traffic, but you can change how you approach the situation. You can choose to be angry and upset, which only makes you feel worse. Or you can choose to practice patience, use the time to reflect, or listen to something helpful that shifts your mindset. As you head into 2025, think about all the times you allow yourself to be upset over things you can't change. In those moments, try to remind yourself, I can't control this, but I can control how I respond. It's not about being perfect or never feeling frustrated. It's about recognizing that your happiness doesn't depend on external events, but on how you choose to react. Principle 2. Practice gratitude. Every day, In a world that constantly encourages us to focus on what we don't have, more money, more things, more success, it's easy to overlook the things we already have. And yet, true happiness is often found in appreciating the small, everyday blessings that we take for granted. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic emperors, spent much of his life reflecting on the importance of gratitude. In his meditations, he often reminded himself to be thankful for even the simplest things, from the kindness of others to the natural beauty around him. For the Stoics, gratitude wasn't just a feeling, it was a practice. Here's the truth. When you regularly express gratitude for the things you already have, your perspective shifts. You stop focusing on what you're missing and start appreciating what's right in front of you. This shift in focus is crucial for cultivating lasting happiness. Try this simple exercise. Each morning, take a moment to write down 3 things you're grateful for. It doesn't have to be anything major, just things you appreciate in that moment. Maybe it's the warmth of your coffee, the sound of birds outside your window, or the fact that you have a job that provides for you. Over time, this practice trains your mind to notice the positive rather than the negative, helping you create a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. As you move into 2025, challenge yourself to find new things to be grateful for each day. By focusing on the blessings in your life, you'll begin to feel more content, more fulfilled, and more at peace with where you are. Principle 3. Embrace discomfort and practice resilience. In a world that encourages comfort at all costs, the Stoics taught something radical. True happiness comes not from avoiding discomfort, but from learning to embrace it. It's through hardship and adversity that we build resilience and strength of character. Epictetus taught that we should not shy away from life's challenges, but face them head-on. Difficulties are things that show a person what they are. In other words, it's not the absence of struggle that defines us, but how we respond to that struggle. Think about it this way. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow. Whether it's a tough project at work, a difficult conversation with a loved one, or a personal goal that seems out of reach, these moments of discomfort are where you develop resilience. In 2025, consider seeking out opportunities to embrace discomfort. Try pushing yourself in areas where you feel uneasy, whether it's physical challenges, like running a race or taking on a challenging workout, or mental challenges, like confronting a fear or learning something new. The more you embrace discomfort, the stronger and more resilient you'll become, and the more you'll grow in confidence and inner peace. Resilience is not about avoiding pain, it's about learning to rise above it and use it as fuel for growth. Principle 4. Focus on the present moment. The Stoics were masters at focusing on the present. They understood that the only moment that truly matters is the one you're in right now. When you're lost in regrets about the past or worries about the future, you miss the beauty and potential of the present moment. So, how do we apply this? In 2025, start by practicing mindfulness. When you're working, give your full attention to the task at hand. When you're with loved ones, really be present with them. Don't let your mind wander to what happened yesterday or what might happen tomorrow. When you focus on the present, you start to notice the richness of your life as it unfolds. In practical terms, this means practicing mindful awareness. Whether you're eating, working, or having a conversation, pay full attention to what's happening right now. By doing so, you'll find greater peace and appreciation for life as it is. Principle 5. Live in alignment with nature. For the Stoics, living in alignment with nature meant understanding that life operates in cycles and that we, too, are part of a larger, interconnected system. It also meant accepting the flow of life, its ups and downs, without resisting or trying to control it. Seneca famously wrote, A good character is not formed in a week or a month. It is created little by little, day by day. Just as nature grows slowly and methodically, so does our character. By living with integrity, wisdom, and courage, we align ourselves with the natural order of the universe. In 2025, make it a practice to connect with the natural world in meaningful ways. Whether that means spending more time outdoors, reflecting on the natural cycles of life, or simply appreciating the beauty around you, grounding yourself in nature can help you find balance and perspective. Aligning with nature is also about aligning with your own true nature, your values, your purpose, and your sense of what's meaningful. When you live in harmony with these things, you feel more at peace with the world around you. Conclusion. A path to true happiness. As we step into 2025, remember that happiness is not a distant goal or a product of external circumstances. It's a way of living, a way of being in the world. By adopting Stoic principles like focusing on what you can control, practicing daily gratitude, embracing discomfort, living in the present, and aligning with nature, you can create a life of true contentment. So, as you move through this year, keep these principles in mind. They may take time to master, but every day you apply them will bring you closer to the happiness and peace you seek. And remember, happiness isn't something you find by chasing after it. It's something you cultivate